Hello there, welcome to my reaction to You're Worthless and Always Will Be by Gigek. I don't know what this is gonna be about, but I assume that I'm gonna get attacked by Grant himself. I know that's not how you say the name. I'm attacking him back, preemptively. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, let's begin.
You're completely worthless, you're never gonna amount to
That's
anything
loud.
in life, and one day, you're gonna die. Anyway, remember to smash the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. Value is a fickle
Do that
thing
to my channel too,
sometimes
please.
makes sense and sometimes does not. Burger at McDonald's? Hey, that's pretty cheap. Oh, we're dining in Five Guys. Damn, that's an expensive burger, but alright. Popcorn at home. A cheap casual snack. Popcorn in the cinema. Let me just take out my second mortgage. Here's a monitor stand. $100. Oh, it was made by a fruit company? $1,000. Should a monkey JPEG be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars?
Definitely fucking not.
Only if you have less IQ than an actual monkey. But if there's one
True.
thing we can all agree that you can't put a price on, it's life. Or can we?
Okay.
Resource music. I'm sure we've all seen that cheesy scene in a movie or anime where the main character preaches some shit like, but you can't put a value on life because all human life is priceless. And I remember the first time I heard this as a kid, I was like, yeah, well, I'm broke and my mates are broke, so broke plus broke still equals broke, so
True.
yeah, I guess you're technically right. But what if you could? What if all your contributions, past, present, and future, your happiness, your influence, what if your entire worth as a human being could be boiled down to a single monetary value? What would you do with it? Would you sell it? Would you keep it? Would you even want to know? And most importantly, do you pay out in Primo Gems? This is exactly what 3 Days of Happiness or I Sold My Life for 10,000 yen per year explores, and might be one of the most impactful short manga I've ever read. And now I'm going to talk about why you need to as well, because do you know what's never undervalued? Today's sponsor, Boxu. Boxu is a monthly subscription service that delivers premium...
This is what I don't get. A lot of YouTube videos have like a good quality when there is no video recorded of them, but there's no webcam or whatever recording them. They have a good video, good mic quality, whatever. But then when it's a video of them, the quality is entirely different. Why? Anyway, if anybody knows, tell me.
Snacks and tea pairings straight to your door.
Like
Each
right
Boxu
now,
features a unique theme
it's
that
different
provides you a
quality
gourmet journey
entirely.
through Japan snack culture. One of the biggest things I find living in Japan is that everything
Could be a different
here is
mic at
seasonal.
this
That
point,
includes
but
all their snacks. And the exciting thing is, you guys get to experience that too now. It is Sakura
No, I can't.
season. As you can see, Boxu have provided me with a bunch of cherry blossom themed snacks, and they all look absolutely delicious, I'm gonna be honest. Every year, Japanese cherry blossoms bloom all across Japan during this time, and people celebrate by gathering under a tree for hanami or flower viewings for a picnic. And look, unfortunately, it's really hard to get into Japan at the moment, so if you want to experience Sakura season and hanami from the comfort of your own home, then Boxu's got you covered.
Garant, I'm sorry, but for me, it's difficult to do anything. I live in Russia after all.
I personally love all the Sakura flavored biscuits I get.
It's not difficult to get a cold though.
Damn, that's good. So if you want to have your own Sakura celebration and support this channel, then you can click the link in the description and use code GIGUK15 for $15 off.
Especially right now, I don't need to go to the shop and it's raining.
Thank you for sponsoring this video, and back to why you should be reading 3 Days of Happiness. Kusunoki is a 20-year-old guy who suffers from a deadly medical condition. Being broke. Working a dead-end job for table scraps, one day while trying to sell his possessions for a quick buck, he hears about a place where he can get some extra money. A store that will buy your lifespan, time, or health for cold, hard cash. Skeptical, but, well, desperate, he decides to give it a shot. I mean, surely a man's life is worth a good buck. How much could it be? 1 million yen per year? 3 million yen total? 3 billion maybe? 300,000 per year? No, that's 300,000 yen for the entire remainder of his lifespan. For all you hamburger-eating, gun-toting Americans out there, that's about $3,000 for the entire monetary value of his life. That's about 1,000 Happy Meals, 50 copies of Horizon Forbidden West, or 1 5-star in Fate Grand Order. Finding out he has 30 years and 3 months left to live, he decides to completely cash out and sell almost everything for 10,000 yen for every year of his remaining lifespan, leaving him with 3 months left to spend it. Of course, tell a person exactly how long they have left to live, and they might be prone to doing some crazy shit to go out with a bang, like playing real-life GTA, or immediately spending your newly acquired life worth on Genshin pools. So to prevent this, he's also given an observer her, which in this case is the exact store clerk he sold his life to. A girl called Miyagi, who keeps him company up until his final days. If you couldn't tell by the premise alone, 3 Days of Happiness is an introspective story centered around the value of life, how best to spend your time here on Earth, and what it means to enrich your own life. You know, just your standard existential shit you have a crisis over whenever you forget your phone, before running to the toilet and slowly realizing that you're about to have a phoneless poop. Originally a novel called 3 Days of Happiness, this also received a manga adaptation called I Sold My Life for 10,000 yen per year, a revolutionary adaptation that broke new grounds by having a manga with a longer title than its light novel counterpart. From now on, I'm just going to be calling it 3 Days of Happiness for the rest of this video, because that's just a really big mouthful, alright? It's a relatively short manga, but it knows exactly the message it wants to send, so we get a concise story that hits and hits hard. Because how do you even begin to calculate a person's worth? Do we go solely by what they contribute to society? How much happiness is in their life?
3 days to
How do
live?
they
Is that
affect
why?
the happiness of the ones around them? Are we going by current achievements or future potential? Stuff like this isn't something you normally think about, and the more you do, the more bleak it becomes. And for someone like Kusunoki, how do you process knowing that your life is worth such little value, and now that he sold it, he has a time limit to come to terms with all of his life regrets while figuring out how to best spend his remaining days? It's a tale that's painfully relatable, not necessarily because it shows a guy figuring out what he wants to do and achieve in life before he dies, right guys? But because what we see here is a journey of a soul that feels completely lost. Look, I don't want to assume what stage of life you're going through right now, but anyone who's gone through or is going through their early 20s knows that it's hard to feel anything but lost. Wait a minute, you're telling me we've gone through an 18-year-long tutorial lesson on Minecraft and now you expect me to do a no-death run in the world of fucking Elden Ring? Motherfucker, I still make fart jokes and find uh-oh stinky poo-poo hilarious, and now I gotta find a career, be responsible for my own life and pay taxes? What the fuck is this? One year you just wake up and get tossed into a totally new world and you're expected to know how to adult properly, the exact path you want your life to go, and it's absolutely terrifying. Some of us, through trial by fire, may get a stranglehold on our own lives, beat the boss and set ourselves in a direction we're somewhat satisfied with, and some of us never move on from that stage. And that's exactly what our main character finds himself in. Kusunoki is a guy who had goals, he had ambition, he had talent, but somewhere along the line he slipped into a self-destructive, meaningless path in life. He shut himself off, unknowingly sprung hurt upon the people closest to him, and unfortunately realized too late that he peaked at the age of 10. The more he reflects on life, the more mistakes he's realized he's made to get there, and it's his interactions with his observer, Miyagi, that helps him put things into perspective. She's someone who seems equally lost in a different way. A girl that's detached and distant, a trait coming with the job that she has, and slowly but surely
would be a romantic thing
from their shared sense of purposelessness.
I want to predict that like 5 minutes ago when they showed them together in a room, but like I feel like it's obvious.
At the end of the day, what really hits home is that he is the reason his life was worth so little. There was no big life event that sent him down the wrong direction, no one person to blame for where he ended up at. It was he that set himself down this path, one small action or inaction at a time. It's a bleak and uncomfortable way to look at things, but the story uses it to delve into a wonderful exploration of fulfillment and happiness and what it means to find true wealth in your own life. Selling his life is what makes Kusunoki slowly find purpose in it. He reaches rock bottom and uses it as a stepping stone to climb himself back up. He finds a meaning in life that had none of it, lives more in 3 months than he ever would have in 30 years, brings more happiness to those around him than his previous lifetime of emptiness, and it is nothing short of powerful to see it all unfold, and something I really think as many people as possible should have the chance of experiencing. The story never answers the question of how you determine a person's life worth, but instead reminds you that the question exists in the first place, and in that vein ends on one of the most beautiful life messages I've seen in a manga. Sometimes you come across a story that changes your perspective on something or gives you a message that really sticks with you, deeper than some things you can even encounter in real life. Inspirational quotes turn into posters, uplifting speeches turn into TikToks, moving videos with thought-provoking life lessons. I don't know if overexposure to the internet and media has numbed me to the point where if I do see something preaching good morals, even if I do fully agree with it, it doesn't always sink in. There's only so many Shaq motivational shorts a man can watch before I literally start ripping my paycheck in half.
No.
Sometimes you need a story
such a stupid advice.
Perspective and really let that message seep in, and that's exactly what 3 Days of Happiness
Poor
did for
people
me.
do
this.
this.
Is a story that doesn't just lay out the journey
Smart
of someone
people do
else's
that wherever.
self-reflections, but gives you the opportunity to do the same for your own. And after I closed the last page, I just had to stare at the ceiling for a while to just digest. It's only about 16 chapters, so it only took me an hour or two to finish, but honestly, I can't think of many stories that would have given me a more valuable hour or two. The question of one's life value is something we can all ask ourselves, no matter what age, background, culture, ethnicity, or family you may have. And I'm sure no two people would have the same answer, but if there's one thing that remains constant for everyone, it's that the only one who can have an effect on that value is you. You are the determining factor of how much value goes into your life, monetary or not, tangible or intangible. You are the only person who has the ability to increase that value starting from today, and it's never too late to spark that change. Because no matter how little you may think you contribute, no matter how worthless you may think your life is right now, that has no bearing on what it'll be 10 years, 5 years, 2 months from now, or even tomorrow. And that's a sentiment I think some people might really need to hear today.
I'm too cynical to hear that. I feel like every 10 years I'll be thinking... Okay, don't go to the next one. Every 10 years I'll be thinking, oh, it's gonna be better in 10 years, but then it's not. Because I did think that 10 years ago, and here I am. Well, not just me going to shit. I actually wasn't going to shit. Actually, it was becoming better, but then the country went to shit. Or the country went to Ukraine. Anyway, I don't want to talk politics and stuff about this in a shitty reaction video. So, yeah. It sounds like a good story. Very wholesome outside of unbearable... death that you cannot escape. But 3 months. Why does it call 3 days of happiness when he has to live 3 months? I don't understand none of that. Anyway, let's leave on this perfect picture of Family Guy funny moments. Thank you, anybody who watched this. I appreciate it a lot, and I hope to see you next time. Goodbye. Have a great life, because one of us has to. I missed. Bye.